is WhisperSister. This video, I wanted to discuss a certain topic that's been on my mind today, and it's the subject of needs and desires and fulfillment of those needs and desires. I've kind of set out on a journey or a process of examining myself and paying attention and not feeling sorry for myself anymore for all the things that I'd like to change or things that I feel powerless to change, but actually trying to locate them, identify them, and change them. So I've been feeling the effects of some pretty unhealthy and unpleasant behaviors on my part over the last week or so, which I'm grateful for because they're really powerful indicators of the fact that something is not working inside. Anyway, so I'm making a point of trying to find paying attention to the thoughts that I'm holding on to, and even deeper than that, the core beliefs that I have about myself, which I know are what fuel these behaviors. And I've got a pretty good idea what some of them are, and some of them are still surprising me. And yeah, I'm making a point of trying to find them, identify them, but more than that, and this is the part I've never really done before because I just don't know how, is to actually do some work to try and reprogram myself and not just, stop at identifying these things, these flawed ways of thinking and viewing myself in the world, but actually getting in there and changing them, because I know that they're not who I am. They're just habits that I've gotten so deeply entrenched that they feel like who I am, but I know they're not. And I know that until I start to fix some of this stuff, I'm just going to be repeating the same behaviors and the same cycles and patterns over and over again, and I'm sick of it. So anyways, that's what I'm up to lately. Now, the reason I was thinking about needs and desires today is that I've been reading this book called The Language of Letting Go by Melanie Beattie, and it's like a series of meditations or like little readings every day on different topics, and then little affirmations you can say. So yeah, I've been reading this book, and most days it's got pretty cool stuff for me to think about throughout the day. And today it was on the subject of getting needs met. I'm going to read you what it says, and then I'll just talk a little bit about what it, I guess my thoughts on it. Okay. So, getting needs met. Picture yourself walking through a meadow. There is a path opening before you. As you walk, you feel hungry. Look to your left. There's a fruit tree in full bloom. Pick what you need. Steps later, you notice you're thirsty. On your right, there's a freshwater spring. When you're tired, a resting place emerges. When you are lonely, a friend appears to walk with you. When you get lost, a teacher with a map appears. Before long, you notice the flow, need and supply, desire and fulfillment. Maybe, you wonder, someone gave me the need because someone planned to fulfill it. Maybe I had to feel the need so I would notice and accept the gift. Maybe closing my eyes to the desire closes my arms to its fulfillment. Demand and supply, desire and fulfillment, a continuous cycle unless we break it. All the necessary supplies have already been planned and provided for this journey. So, I had never really considered this idea that needs and desires are natural serve a purpose and are, positive things. I've always viewed my needs and desires, if I'm in a state of needing something or wanting something, that to me always feels like a negative thing for various reasons. Either it's like it makes me feel like there's something I'm lacking, like I should have everything I need, and I shouldn't want for anything, that I should have all the answers, have all the whatever. So it's either an issue of lack, not being good enough, or it's something that I feel guilty about, wanting something I shouldn't want, or not being able to admit to what I need, or it points to some kind of a weakness, again, like a lack kind of scenario. So there's a number of reasons why whenever I just don't usually allow myself to acknowledge things that I want and be okay with wanting them and admit to it. And a lot of it is guilt and shame, and a lot of that, obviously, I can't be the only one. I know, we're conditioned to feel guilty about our desires and feel guilty for asking for what we need. So I'm not going to cry over that. I don't think I'm the only one with those issues. But I'm not really sure. Well, this kind of offered me a different perspective. If I can step back and look at myself objectively, or if I can just say, look at a person, some random person, objectively, the idea that, your need is there so that you will be open to its fulfillment really kind of puts it in a different light, doesn't it? It's like even from an evolutionary point of view, if you never wanted anything and never felt a desire or a need, you would never grow, you would never evolve. Life would never have happened. Everything that's here on the planet would never be if it weren't for that drive to improve and to, acquire. And for the moment, I'm not even going to get into the whole issue of determining what's, a fleeting desire and what's an actual need and what's a legitimate, of course you have to use discretion. Not talking about, gratuitous fulfillment of every desire you have. Not at all. But when there are things that you legitimately need or want, how powerful to look at it that way, to actually consider that you're not bad or wrong or, greedy or dirty or whatever, insert adjective here, all the things I tell myself when I want something or even feel something. God, I've always just judged myself for every natural feeling I've ever had, really, And I'm sure if I was to look back over my history, I could pinpoint some things that would, or I can identify where I would have taken on these beliefs, but, I'm not gonna, I don't, in some ways, I guess it's important to, or it can be helpful to, identify where these beliefs came from, but in a lot of ways it doesn't really matter. The point is, I still have the same result, and if I want to change it, I still have to start from where I'm at. And, but yeah, I guess, I've found that to be true lately as I've been admitting some of the things that I've wanted and needed, and then getting them, and, how amazing that feels, and how little guilt there actually is, compared to what I expect there to be, if that makes sense. I don't know. And then sometimes, even if you don't get what you want, just admitting that you want something can feel really liberating and validating and really good. So, things that I need, and there are things that I want right now, and I am going to conduct a little experiment and admit them to myself, admit them to any other people involved, and ask for them, or at least just voice them, and see what happens. Sorry, I thought this video would be a lot more intelligent, but I guess I don't really have my thoughts straight on the subject yet. But you guys, I don't know, if it makes you think, or at least if it just relaxes you as a whisper video, that's cool. I'm gonna keep thinking about it, so have a great night, everyone.